What's up, y'all? Market is pumping. Stock market is pumping. Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market is pumping because of tariff news that Trump is pausing it for 90 days. I was telling one of my friends that it'll probably be like that, where they'll say that they're going to have tariffs, right, and put these into place, but then come April, which we're in April now, that they're going to come up with a deal or pause it or something like that. Because they want to bring the stocks and Bitcoin and everything low enough, and they need an excuse to do so. So people sell their assets, people sell their stocks, their Bitcoin, their altcoins or cryptocurrencies. They sell all those out of fear and uncertainty and doubt, FUD, and then next thing you know, the administration says, "Oh, we're gonna have a pause on these things," and so institutions, banks, they scoop all those assets up and they pump it. It's just happens all the time in different ways though, but fear is the biggest trigger. Fear is the biggest trigger to load the clip and accumulate assets. Whenever there's fear, uncertainty, and doubt, like extreme fear too, that's when you load the clip. That's when you say, hey, this is the buying opportunity. If it makes sense, you want to buy quality assets. You don't want to buy a penny stock. You don't want to buy XRP, right? You want to buy a quality asset. And so, yeah, you buy Bitcoin, you'll be straight. And now, Bitcoin went from 73K, 74K. Now it's at 82K. So, yeah, just like that. Stock market as well. And I opened up a long on SPY for January. Yesterday. Was it today? No, yesterday I opened it up. Or the day before, something like that. So I looked at the weekly chart on Bitcoin and everything. Bitcoin is global liquidity. So when Bitcoin is, it's kind of an indication of where the global market is feeling. And so, hey, there's a lot of fear, a lot of doubt, a lot of uncertainty. From a technical standpoint, on the weekly chart, when Bitcoin goes low on the RSI on a daily and especially a weekly chart, that's a buying opportunity. No matter what goes on, obviously it can hover in oversold territory for quite a while. It could be days, weeks, hovering, in oversold, but typically it doesn't stay too long in that. I mean, how low can it go? I mean, it can go really low, and especially in the bear market, but yeah, just smoke and mirrors. You gotta follow the money. But Bitcoin could drop though. That monthly time frame kind of needs to come down. But yeah, Bitcoin goes oversold on the monthly. That's a generational buy. I mean, Bitcoin's always a generational buy. But from anyone around the world, if they see any asset, quality asset, on a monthly chart that's oversold, this is from technical analysis. Not many people understand it, but pretty much you want extreme fear, extreme selling off on a higher time frame. And when that happens, you buy it. You can almost put blindfolds on, but you want to buy quality assets. Bitcoin, if you don't like Bitcoin because you haven't done research on it, or you're too afraid. If you want risky trades, then you buy the S&P 500. If I think it's very risky. I think Bitcoin is the least risky asset that you can hold. But holding the S&P 500 and any other stock market ticker, Apple, Amazon, I think those are very risky, especially the upside potential. I mean, they got AI. AI is going to help produce income, produce revenue, but Bitcoin supply and demand, and there's a scarce supply, 21 million, and way less than that, 19 million. Many people are losing their coins as well. I lost some coins in the process by doing some stupid management stuff, and so no, now those coins are lost. That means Bitcoin just became more scarce because of my because of what I did. So hey, it gets more scarce and more scarce. So buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to keep going up, and if it come down, I think it's always a great opportunity to buy. There's a 90-day pause on these tariffs. I think they'll probably pause them again, or if it actually does take an effect. But I think at that point, there's multiple theories where I think they're colluding together, or they're kind of coming together in terms. They say to the public, we're going to do this, but behind closed doors, they're making up a plan and talking on the phone like, hey, this is what we're going to do. We need these assets to come down, and there has to be fear to bring down assets. There's typically, it can happen, but typically if you want something to come down dramatically, there has to be some type of news that affects national market or the global market, and tariffs is one of those things. COVID is one of those things. Otherwise, you just can't really bring down the asset prices as quickly as possible. It could be a slow grind down. Distribution is what they call it. But yeah, if you want something to come down 30 points every single day, 20 points every single day, 20 points every single day, you need fear. You need market uncertainty. You need people to fear for their lives, fear for their jobs, fear for their economy, and that's how you bring assets down. And those who don't think, those who don't know what's going on, let's go. Know what's going on, they won't buy assets like Bitcoin. And yeah, they'll be working for the rest of their life with nothing to ask for. All right, y'all, I gotta go. Peace. I hope this helps. Buy Bitcoin. You should have bought Bitcoin when it was lower, but you still have lots of time. So continue stacking. Peace out. Yogi.